Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's gonna be like uni style kind of video. I thought it would be interesting to chat to you guys about when you first start uni, expectations, realities, and also what to do and what not to do, because I found when I started uni I was so anxious about it. Like, I am in my 4th year now, nearly to the end of my 4th year actually. So I do understand how daunting it can be to start something new. I used to always be afraid of staying away from home, and I was very much a homey person. So moving to university was like a big shock to the system. Although it was so much fun, I do understand and I do get when people are really nervous about it. So yeah, this is what that video is going to be about. First time for those moving into uni. Gonna cross my legs. Got my Starbucks. When you've just applied for university, it's all very exciting, and also you get that butterfly feeling in your tummy. And then when you're accepted, that's just it now, you know you're going to uni. Now, if you got the opportunity to stay in halls, then I would suggest you do it. Obviously, if you're an older, more mature student, you probably won't want to because you might have children, and also you might have a house to pay for and things. Whereas if you're a bit younger, I started when I was 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, yeah. So I started, I had to think about that for a minute, when I was 19. And a lot of people in my halls were actually a bit younger than me. So some people were 17, some people were actually older than me. It varies big time. Universities is very much one of those places where you can go from having 50-year-olds in your class to having 17-year-olds. So it does have a wide range of people, and there's loads of different personalities as well in your halls and things. But I would honestly suggest you do live in halls if you can, and also if you can afford to as well. Obviously in the UK you can get government help, which is really helpful. My first year at university was amazing. I had so much fun. Yes, it did involve getting very drunk very often. I made so many friends and I just loved my first year. It was so much fun. You didn't have a care in the world, although you still had work to do. It was still really, really fun. If you do get that opportunity, please take it up because you will not regret it. I've definitely become more independent by living away from home. And again, you just don't miss out on anything because you're there on site at all times. So I do feel like you're more likely to miss out on things if you're not on site. Although you can obviously make friends with people that do live on site, but I loved my first year. I had so much fun and I wouldn't change it for the world. The next thing is, so when you first move into your halls, do not close your door. Obviously, unless you're using the toilet or something, I don't know, then close your door. But for me, when I moved in, I noticed everyone was keeping their doors open, and I suppose that's a way of getting to know each other. Like, for instance, when I moved in, I had my dad helping me get my things in, and also my stepmum was as well. And I kept my door open purely because I didn't know who else was in the halls that I was in. So I kept my door open, allowing people just to walk past if they wanted to come say hi. And the girl opposite me, she was actually from, where was she from? I think she was American actually. I'm pretty sure she's American. I can't remember now, it was so long ago. And she was the first one to say hello to me. She was a lovely girl. She saw that my door was open and she saw me, and we both just started chatting. And then another girl actually saw my door was open and she came to my door and just introduced herself, and we got talking, and then we had a look around campus together, and then we actually became really good friends from then on. And then we also got to know the other people as well throughout that day. That same evening we all went downstairs because us girls had like formed a really close bond already in the first day. And we went downstairs and we went and said hello to the boys. I have to say we were a bit cocky just because, I don't know, we just were. We didn't actually have any boys on our floor, I don't think. The boys were actually downstairs. I don't know if that's common, but yeah, you can have mixed halls as well. Like ours was mixed, but it just so happens that the top floor was mostly girls and then the bottom floor was all boys, I think. I think there was one girl on the bottom floor. Can't remember. But anyway, we went down, we mingled, and it was such a good evening because we actually got to know everyone. I think it was the first night of freshers as well, which meant we were getting very drunk. I have to say, 4 years on, I cannot drink like I used to be able to, and I cannot deal with the hangover like I used to be able to either. So yeah, just try your best to mingle when you first move in. Keep your door open, make sure you're welcoming, and just try and like chat rubbish to people. Like people just want to get to know you, and everyone's in the same boat, so do not be afraid to talk to people because I'm sure they want to talk to you anyway. The reality is, yes, you got a first week of freshers, which yes is crazy, and you do end up getting very drunk if you drink. You make loads of friends and it's just so much fun. And the reality is, after that, obviously you can still get drunk on the student night or whatever night it is that most people get drunk, but you do have work to do. Well, for me it was like our course was like one of the hardest, I think, in the whole of the university. So as far as I know, that's what I've been told. I don't know if that's true, but I do remember finding that the workload was really hard, and then on top of that you were getting drunk every Wednesday and Saturday and Friday, most nights to be honest, and partying and just doing student stuff, being stupid, staying up till stupid o'clock. So you need to remember to have a balance, and if you do have an 8 AM lecture or whatever time it is in the morning, do get your sleep, because hangovers and trying to do uni work and trying to you know, be engaged into the lecture is really hard when you've drank the night before. I can tell you from experience. The amount of times I've literally walked out of my lecture being sick because of the night before is ridiculous, and I've just not engaged in that lecture because of that, and I learnt from my mistakes. And I also found what is that orange drink that you can drink, and it's like a tablet that you put into, I can't remember what they call it, but anyway, I use those and it really helped my hangovers. So top tip from Abby over here, make sure you have one of those. Is it a Barocca? I think it's a Barocca, something like that anyway. But yeah, have one of those in the morning if you do decide to drink the night before. If you do not want to drink, do not drink. Like, I feel like everyone's under the impression that every single university student drinks, but I know many that do not. Although some of them have changed now, like a lot of them do drink now, but if you don't want to drink, do not drink. You don't have to. There's been nights I've gone out and not actually wanted to get drunk, so I don't drink and I just drink water, but that was very rare. But if you don't want to drink, do not feel pressured to drink. Everyone is under this impression that you have to drink to go to university. You do not have to drink alcohol if you do not want to drink alcohol. No one's going to think any different of you for it. And yeah, I feel like that's such a big thing. Like, there's this misconception that every university person drinks, but that's not true at all. Make the most of your student nights as well, because obviously every single drink is like quarter of the price, and obviously everyone you know at uni is probably out having fun, and you don't really want to miss out on that, because I've got really bad, like, what is it called, when you don't want to miss out, I can't remember what they call it, it's like a shortened word, I can't remember, but yeah, I used to get, oh, is it the fear of missing out or something? I don't know. But I used to hate missing out. Like, one day I went to polo with my friend, and we got back and I was being sick because I wasn't very well. I had a migraine that day. And they were like, oh, are you coming out? I was like, I can't. Like, I physically will be so poorly tomorrow otherwise, because I was already really ill. And I just had to force myself, literally pep talk myself into not going out. That is how hard it is sometimes, but don't feel pressured to. But literally I went into the kitchen to go out. I was like, no, I can't do this. I need to go to bed, go to sleep, ready for my lectures tomorrow, because I am so poorly. I was literally being sick and I felt like I had to go out, but you don't. do not feel like that, but do make the most of your student nights, because like I said, everything's really cheap and you save so much money. But yeah, do take advantage of all the offers. Another tip I've got is when you're out or you are drinking alcohol, please watch your drinks, because there has been a number of times I've actually been spiked and it is not a nice feeling. I know my friends have too. I was never spiked to the point where, you know, I lost feeling anywhere, but my friend was, and it's not a nice thing to happen. You suddenly go from 0 to 100, even if you're slightly drunk before you've been spiked. It's the worst feeling and it is not nice, and you've really got to look after yourself when you're out, because that's the last thing you want to happen, because you hear really horrible, terrifying stories that you do not want to happen to you. Luckily none of those have happened to me myself, but there was one time where I was absolutely off my face drunk, and I was spiked, and my friends actually left me. Yeah, they sound awful, don't they? They didn't mean to leave me. They thought I'd already gone home, which I hadn't. I just didn't know my whereabouts, and I actually got in a taxi on my own, and 3 girls took advantage of that and stole my money. So yeah, and it's really important that if you can, go home with other people, because it's horrible when you're left on your own. Obviously, I don't remember very much of that evening, but it could have gone a lot worse than just being thrown in a taxi and also having my money stolen. Just be really cautious and just remember to look after yourself and make sure your phone's fully charged before you go out, etc. Make sure you got your enough money on you to get home, and also when you're out, if you need water, drink water, because I didn't, and you end up with the worst hangover the next day. Top tip is just make sure you do get enough sleep the evening before, before your lectures, because you just want to be engaging in those lectures, and you just will not be, and that is for a whole year, don't forget, and more if you're going to do it in your 2nd, 3rd and 4th year. My 2nd year I did get drunk quite a lot, but nowhere near as much as 1st year, because I just couldn't hack it, and I was working full-time in placement, so at weekends I'd go out with my friend, and yeah, we get quite drunk and have fun. But it wasn't like 1st year where you just go absolutely ham and like over the top OTT on everything, you know. It was just like the drinking games for me that did it. Also, as a new time student, don't be afraid to say no. So if you don't want to go out, say no. If you don't want to drink, say no. If you want people to leave your room so you can go to sleep, just tell them to go away. No one's going to take offence. At the end of the day, you are also there to learn. So no one's going to judge you for going to bed at 8 o'clock if you want to go to bed at 8 o'clock. But just be warned that it is loud. So just take note that you might want some like headphones or something to block out the sound when it's a student night and you're not going out either. Tip is be organised. Like, keep all your notes organised. Make sure you've got folders for every single lecture. It just makes life so much easier. Keep organised, you know, make sure your revision's all in one book or in one place so that you know where it all is. Make sure you've got folders for each lecture so you can break everything down when it comes to revising especially. And then also just laundry, make sure you're up and on top of your laundry. Last thing you want is a big laundry bag with your laundry just overflowing, because you do not have space in those halls for that. Another big thing that I think people forget before moving into halls is you are sharing facilities. So like everything has to be shared. Obviously, well, most places, I did anyway, I had my own toilet and shower, but my kitchen was shared, and so was obviously the community areas. Is it community? Communal, sorry, communal areas. So when I'm cooking, someone else might be cooking. So the one thing that every student struggles with is tidiness. Your kitchen is never going to be tidy unless you have absolutely amazing housemates. There is no way in hell it's going to be spotless. Bins, just do it. Just put out those bins. If they need doing, then they need doing. Do not even argue it. There's so much more to worry about than who's putting out the bins that night. Otherwise, you're just going to have a very smelly kitchen where you're going to have to cook and eat. So it's not even worth the hassle. Just do it, is my number one tip. Also, cooking, make sure that you just wash up your stuff as soon as you've finished eating. You do not want plates and plates piling up of dirty food as well, and like, oh, it's grim. Honestly, upstairs was so clean. Luckily my floor was cleaner, shall I say. It's not clean, but it was cleaner. But downstairs they used to stack dirty plates, and the stench from their kitchen, oh my god, it was awful. So please just wash up after yourself, dry up after yourself, put your stuff away, and you will not have to worry about it, because whoever's left their stuff can deal with that. That's not your stuff to sort. And just take it in turns to clean the kitchen. Like, if you see it's dirty, just wipe up after you, wipe the surfaces and things. You do not want to be living in a dirty place, because it's really not very nice. And also make sure you share it. So obviously if you're cooking something, make sure there's space for someone else too, because I think I was sharing my kitchen with 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 or 7 other people. So just make sure you're fair and you don't hog up loads of space. Just keep it minimal. That brings me on to buying, shopping. I'm awful with budgeting, but you need to. Also, your cupboard space is pretty minimal as well, probably. Mine was anyway. So one thing I would say is don't go overboard. Just get your cupboard stuff sorted. Make sure you've got a shelf full of like tinned food and stuff, and then like your pastas and rices, because I'm afraid to say it, you'll probably be living off that for the next year, until you get confident with cooking other stuff. And then of course anything else like frozen food and stuff, make sure you put that away properly in your place and don't hog up too much room. I think we all picked a cupboard for our cutlery and pans and saucepans and things, and then we all had one cupboard for food and then one freezer drawer each. So yeah, that's what we did. I don't know what other people have done, so comment down below if you ever struggled with that. But just make the most of the space you have. Don't overdo it. Don't buy loads of shopping when you can't fit it all in one space. If you need to, you can obviously keep some of it in your room. That's what I sometimes did. I also kept my washing powder in my room as well, because otherwise it would get used. So yeah, just make the most of the space you've got, and try your best to budget. So set yourself like a £20 food shop limit or a £30 food shop limit, and that's it. And then obviously take out how much cash you're going to be using on a night out. Or of course you can also take out your card and just make sure you don't spend more than you have to. But yeah, just be careful. I understand and I can really appreciate it that it's really scary moving somewhere new, meeting new people, getting used to a new routine, but hear it from someone that has been through that. I loved it. I loved it. I was so anxious to begin with, and moving in I was really nervous for my dad to leave me, and I absolutely was fine. Like, I was so worried I was going to be nervous and not have made friends, but by the time my dad left I'd already made 2 friends, and then by that same evening I knew everyone anyway. So, you know, just take a deep breath. You will be fine. I know you're going to enjoy it. I know at the moment with COVID it's a bit different as well, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. At the end of the day, you're still going to be living with people in your halls, and even if you have to isolate with them, you'll have an amazing time. If you do drink, make sure you've got plenty of alcohol in, because it's expensive at the bars at university. And yeah, just enjoy it. You do not want to, you know, make your first year shit. You just want to make it good. So just enjoy it. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time. Please remember that my Instagram is down below, so if you've ever got any questions about university and things, I'm happy to answer them. Leave it in a comment, message me on Instagram. I will be more than happy to chat to you guys about anything. But yeah, I'm actually going to leave that video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit funny to look back on stuff. Honestly, I was looking at my memories on Snapchat and I was like, oh my god, I miss first year so much. But at the same time, I don't, because now I'm getting on with my life. I'm not really much of a student anymore. By the end of this year I'll probably be living with my boyfriend, which is exciting. So yeah, times change, but I had such an amazing first year, met so many wonderful people, and yeah, I love it. So just enjoy it. I'm sure you guys will have the best time. Like I said, let me know if you want a part 2 to this video. Give this video a big thumbs up, smash the like button, and go subscribe to me, because that would really help out my channel. I've just hit 700 subscribers, whoop whoop. So please subscribe to my channel, because that will really help it out. I've got so many exciting videos coming your way, and yeah, let's leave it there. See you later, guys. Bye.
Cold sweat, I was in a nightmare, searching in the dark, but I couldn't find you.